What's up, fam? Welcome to today's episode of the King's Vibe podcast. So today, I'm actually pretty excited about today's because we're a little fancy today. We got our mics on. We got this fancy thing on. Can do here and there. So Peanut can actually flex on people and stuff.
I got a Green Ranger t-shirt, ain't nothing fancy about me.
The mic though.
Oh, yeah. The mic is
More fancy than
This mic is worth more than everything I got on right now.
No.
Yeah, it is.
Can't say. Okay, all right.
We'll take the highest price thing I got on right now is Brooks.
Knowledge.
There you go.
Knowledge. Hey, there you go. But hey, thank you for tuning in today, and please make sure you like, comment, share, and subscribe to our YouTube channel so we can bring you more. So today we do want to talk about continuous education. It's very important that you stay motivated, but also it is very, very important that you try to find some type of education as you try to motivate yourself. That's what we're really going to talk about. And of course, I brought with me Peanut and Nikki two times. Yep, y'all seen them. A lot of knowledge in these two gentlemen. Gentlemen, welcome.
Hey, thank you.
How y'all doing?
Hey, I'm doing good. So like you were saying, continuous education.
No way, huh?
Hey, what we doing?
Hello, by the way.
Hey, I thought the introductions were already in.
Go ahead now.
Hey, but no kidding. The continuous education, that's one of the most important things. We always talk about knowledge is power. You always hear growing up, knowledge is power, and all that other good stuff. Read a book, put your nose in a book. Documenting it is something completely different, right? And having that little extra certificate or piece of paper or anything documented, really, apprenticeship or whatever, it can go a long way. It does go a long way, and it doesn't have to stop there. Like it doesn't really.
Yeah, that's true. I think as far as education goes, me personally, I didn't start seeking any type of secondary education until recently, like a year and a half ago. Before then, I was like, I didn't join the Navy to go to school or just any regular Joe Schmo can be like, I'm not working because I want to go to college, but the simple fact of it is, typically in the type of society that we have, the most knowledgeable person is usually the more successful, depending on how they use that knowledge. So obviously getting that knowledge and having a piece of paper to back that, saying that this person actually does know that is good. So I'm all for it. I also like the self education portion of it. So knowledge is good, getting a degree is good, but even if you're not chasing a degree, say you don't have to get a psychology degree to know about psychology. You can have a degree in aeronautical science, but have a liking for psychology and just get psychology books and learn.
Before you go on though, hey, congrats, man, on finishing your degree. I
Yeah,
think we never said it on camera,
But I agree. Like just because you have a degree or a trade or something documented in a certain field, it doesn't mean that you can't pursue something else. And I 100% agree with that. And it's not for a side hustle, but it's for your enjoyment. Like that extra knowledge that'll get you so further in life or in conversations. And that in itself.
So are you saying like don't just get the knowledge or don't just get the education, but also get the document that comes with it?
Yeah. Well, I can't speak for him. Well, I'll say for me, yes. Whatever field you want to go into, you should always have some sort of documentation to back what you're saying you're good for, because that's your sense of credibility.
Yeah.
But the thing is, don't stop once you get that piece of paper. That's your source of credibility in the job market, but that's not your source of credibility in the everyday life and everyday world, because you meet people who are like, yo, I got a degree in such and such. It's like, all right, man, that's cool, but because you got a degree in this don't mean that you know about this. Like,
True.
You should probably read a little more books on whatever it is that we're talking about at this moment, because sometimes people get these pieces of paper and they're like, I'm awesome. It's like, I mean, you are awesome. You did it. I didn't do that, but chill out, bro. It's always more to learn.
Yep. No, I agree. Like, you got to do that. Whatever field you're in, I would say expand on that, and that's what you can get your knowledge or your certifications, whatever, and that could be your backup plan. But just like you said, it's a backup plan. If you want to continue that, you can go 2 different routes. Continue that and grow on that, expand on that, or you can branch off and go psychology or any other hobby, basket weaving. Let's make some hobbies.
Basket weaving, nah.
People like baskets.
And that was the thing though, growing up and we used to have vocational skills, and that's where you learn how to sew and how to make baskets and stuff. It's a thing.
Yeah, and that's the thing, bro. Like, everybody needs something sewn, but who knows how to sew anymore?
That's true. Like, I still take my stuff in. I'm gonna hurt my finger just with the needle.
While we out here, my belt fell off. Yeah. Not today, Steve.
Blood all on yourself. My uniform in my hand. It's all messed up.
Yeah. So I think we can probably relate it to. Peanut can show me how to fish all day, but if I don't really have a fishing license, I'm not really credible enough when it comes to the field of fishing, right? Right?
Yeah. Like, you can get hemmed up or not know what you're doing,
right?
Or different areas. Yeah, I get what you're saying.
In the legal sense of it, yeah. Say I can teach you how to fish, right? And you was the best fisherman that ever lived, right? But if it's not snapper season and you call a snapper, and the Florida wildlife police came and was like, "Hey man, it ain't snapper season. You can't catch snapper right now."
So with that license.
Yeah, like, when you see the license, you're like, I'm the best fisherman that ever lived.
Not today.
It's a two-way street. You need both. Just make sure you get both for whatever you're doing. If it's important to you, get both, depending on what you want to do.
Yeah. But so as far as credibility goes, when it comes to like documenting some type of training or education or whatever you want to call it, right? But how long should that really be though to count? Does it matter?
Well,
as far as the training,
right? So just for me, let's just back it up a little bit. Let's say you're great in your field. Sometimes your reputation, like you were saying, will exceed that documentation, and you can grow off of that if you're a subject matter expert. You might not even need that degree or certification. That will back up everything you say in case your contingency plan. Let's say you get in trouble. Some happens like a worldwide pandemic, and you get fired or something, and you had to seek another job. That degree, that backup plan will always help you out. But your credibility and your knowledge is gonna be there, But what's backing that up? And that's kind of like what I was going off of. But like what you were saying
about the duration of the training.
Yeah.
Well, I guess I'm just trying to figure out, like, does it really matter? If I went to a course, that was only an hour long, right, and I got some type of documentation, is that enough training to help me?
If we're talking about what's enough and what's not enough, those are societal and industrial requirements. So if society or whatever industry you're trying to go into says that this hour training is enough to satisfy the requirements to say that you are qualified to do this, then yeah, it's enough. Because they set the standard. I met the standard, I'm good. But realistically, we all know that just because you do something or you got a piece of paper, that don't mean that you know everything. And that's where people get it twisted. In my eyes, they get the piece of paper, and then now they standing on a pedestal, like, now you're on your soapbox. Oh, look, I got it. Obviously, I know what I'm doing. Like, no, that just means that based on the standards that was set before you,
give this man some credibility. And he said he know what he's doing.
I'm gonna give him. I'm not gonna give somebody credibility. It's just that too many times, and we've all seen that somebody got some piece of paper that say they can do X, Y, Z. And it's just like, okay, yeah, you got it, but you don't know everything about it. So get off your little pedestal and humble yourself.
Well, you went real high right with that one, you know. But
I know.
Yo, that's legitimate though. But in the Navy, right? Somebody gets a qualification. It's like, oh, I'm called. And you're like, all right, you called, so you get out there and do it. But then they don't know nothing about it. It's like, I thought you were called. You got the certification. You met the minimum requirements. You should know what we're talking about, but you don't.
all right, but let's say like that corporation doesn't, or a company or whatever organization doesn't really put any guidelines out, right? So, what's to stop this dude to get something, right? So let's say he does get it, and maybe it doesn't meet the guidelines, or it does meet the guidelines, but let's be honest, everything kind of helps, you know. If me and you go get it, and let's say we are all next up for the promotion, or not even the promotion, the job, you know.
Yeah.
And I have this little video piece of paper. I did 2 hours of whatever service, online training from Joe Schmo College that smoked cigarettes, you know, and he did absolutely goose egg. I might have a leg up on
Goose
you, know?
egg.
Don't get me wrong, bro. Don't get me wrong. I'm not saying to not do it, because in the spirit of I'm trying to make sure I'm good to go. Yes, whatever under the sun that I'm trying to do, if there's anything out there that will help me succeed, or to make sure that I'm kind of one of the leaders of the pack of it, yeah, I'm gonna get it. Whatever it is, I'm gonna get it. I'm not saying not to get it. I'm just saying that whenever you get it, because remember we talked about continuous learning, don't just get it and be like, I'm good. Like, get it and understand that just because you get that doesn't mean that you know about every aspect of whatever piece of paper you just got. Like, get back in them books. The same books that got you the piece of paper, the degree, the certificate, whatever it is. The same books that got you that, it's information in there that you probably missed or you skimmed over, because we all know that that's just how it is.
Mhm.
No matter what age you live in, that's just how it is. And just be humble enough to understand that you need the piece of paper. You should get the piece of paper, but after you get the piece of paper, make sure you're still out here learning.
So get that piece of paper, but when you do get that piece of paper, make sure you actually know the knowledge behind the piece of paper.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, that'll prove beneficial.
But since we're talking about that though, you know, I think probably the go-to documentary, you know, whatever credentials out there right now, at a minimum, I want to say is to have a bachelor's degree.
I think so. I think you're still getting some standards like management positions. They're lower or whatever with an associate's, where you get your foot in the door for those positions. But I think the standard, like you said, is a management or a trade,
Right.
Something like that. Yeah.
So if you know, there's people out there that want to go that route, you know, and I know y'all know a lot about, you know, schools and stuff, but it's a lot of different factors that go into just, you can't just walk up to a school and say, hey, I want to start, you know.
Let me get my degree.
So, you know, money's a factor, you know, trying to pick a good degree, whatever good is to you, is another factor, you know, like, what are some of the guidelines that people should probably...
Oh, man. Now that you say that, I wish my life would be completely different if I knew the resources at age 18. You know what I'm saying? I'm 31 right now, and 11, 12, 13 years ago, my life would have been different if I know what I know now. And I know people say that, but I didn't know I could start college in 10th grade. That's something I wish I would have done. I would have left high school with an associate. You know, I didn't know that FAFSA was a thing. That's like the biggest, you know.
Yeah.
But FAFSA was a thing. I didn't know that
Pell Grant, yeah.
Yeah. All I knew was like, you gotta get a loan, and you're gonna be stuck to the man, and you're gonna rack up $100,000
You're
in
gonna
debt.
be in debt, and the job you get is not even gonna pay it off.
Yeah. By the time you get done paying it off, you'll be ready for retirement. You know what I'm saying? Well, welcome to America. But no, it's just this endless cycle. I didn't know all that stuff. So knowing what I know now is that you can actually go to college. You can get a master's or a PhD for free, all the way up. It's just time and effort, right? They got programs, they got schools that are month-long
scholarships,
and that's another thing too. Like, you can enter for a scholarship, or you can actually take your time and learn to write why you needed a scholarship, and that'll prove to be beneficial too, because there's so many. I say so many. There's thousands of scholarships. There's what is it, for minorities, for left hands, for one eyes, for
For left hand.
Yeah, for everything. There's disabilities.
I got 11 fingers.
Yeah,
So you
Purple
got
Hearts.
scholarship.
If you
You get
strictly
scholarship.
just want to be a teacher, there's not troops to teachers, but there's programs out there. Anyways, there's programs out there just for that, and you can look them all up. You know, Google's a new thing. You know, that we had since what 10, 11, 12, 13 years ago. All these resources are out there and they're easy to find. So coming up with money shouldn't be hard as long as you put the time and effort in it. You know.
Oh yeah, and that's the thing. To get an education, I'm gonna be completely honest. Yeah, I feel like if I gotta come out $30,000 a year to go to school, I'm not doing it. I'm not doing it. It ain't worth it. But the thing is, like you said, there's FAFSA out there. There's so many scholarships, and I'm not gonna repeat it. But it's just like the avenue to get there. Everybody think that, oh, I gotta go to university from a jump. Like, if you're really about getting a degree, you know you don't. You can go to a community college. Your first 2 years, you can get your associate's degree through there, through FAFSA. You don't have to pay a dime. And then while you're doing that, you can be saving up money. So when you transfer to that university, because you got to understand it's going to cost a little more money. FAFSA not going to cover all that. So now you're using the FAFSA to cover a little bit. You're using the scholarships to cover another little bit. And you're using the money that you save for them 2 years to cover the other little bit.
And probably working while you go to school to cover the rest of them, you know?
Yeah, and that's the thing. Is just it's ways out here other than paying Sally Mae or whatever. What is it? Whatever school loan things they got out there to get your degree. There's so much stuff out here to eat. It's just people don't know about it.
Yeah, this comes back to them resources, and that all ties into like you and the individual itself. Like you have to talk about what you want to be.
Yeah.
That was the hardest part for me. I didn't know what I wanted to do or what I wanted to be. I didn't even know I even liked aviation until I started doing it.
Oh yeah.
You know.
That's true.
And that's just how it was. I wanted to be a fireman, just like any other person that's 6 years old and just kept the dream. You know.
But you know what's crazy though? And I'm sorry to cut you off, but not knowing what I wanted to do as far as school goes and, you know, my degree and stuff, is the reason why it took me almost 11 years to almost finish my degree.
Yeah.
Because I didn't know what I wanted to do. I had the drive. I wanted to do something, but I just didn't know what I wanted to do. So switching from 3 different colleges and 3 different degree programs, 11 years down the line, I'm still here, finishing it now. But no, if like you said, if I knew what I know right now when I started, I probably would have been done with my PhD a long time ago.
What would you have told yourself though? If you had to go back and talk to yourself right now, what would you have told?
Pick what you really want to do and stick to it.
Yeah, the thing about that is, right? So say you motivated, I'm motivated, right?
We motivate.
We motivate.
Hey.
Together we form the motivation triangle. But the thing is, right? And I think it comes down to parenting. How many parents are out here fostering that at a young age? Not necessarily pushing somebody in a certain direction, but just introducing kids to so many different things. Because a lot of times, especially now in America, we rely on the school to educate our kid. They go to school and then they go to daycare and then they go do some after school thing and we pick them up, we feed them, we put them to sleep, and then we rinse and repeat. So how much time are we actually putting into children to making sure that we teach them new things and we open their eyes to new things? So by the time that they're 14, 15, 16, they're like, you know what? I kind of do have a solid idea about what I want to do. So when I graduate high school, I can actually legitimately start instead of being like, I don't know where I want to go. Like, as a parent, we should be out here like, hey, let's learn this. Let's try. Oh, I don't like that. Well, you don't know what you like.
Yeah.
Let's try it out for
It's
a little
the
bit.
mindset,
Yeah, let's try it out. Yeah. And then after trying it, if you don't like it, cool. We'll find something different until we actually figure out, we pinpoint something that you take a liking to. So by the time it's time for you to start to hammer that nail down in life about what kind of path you're going to take, at least for the next 10 years, you can actually have some sort of goal to go to instead of, like you said, you went to 3 different colleges instead of having to bounce around and be like, I don't know, like, just get it in so you can be more successful earlier.
I met this one blind person, right? She was in the vending machines, and we had a long talk about.
Nick, you always got
I
some
always got
stories,
always got
man.
some stuff.
The,
Always got
the,
stories.
the last time you
I
were talking
always-
about
always
some
got
bombs
something.
on the side of the street.
I'm talking to her because I'm very curious because she's directing people. One, she's blind, and in and out of a storage unit because she's putting all her snacks in there because she's a business owner of a regional vending machine, right? And she has people that work for her for it. And I was like, whoa, this is kind of crazy. How do you do all this stuff? Anyways, long story short, she would always tell me it's the mindset that you put in your kids. It's not like if you go to college, hey, I know whenever you turn 18, if you do this, if you do that. It's like when you go to college, it's that, like you were saying, build them up and then keep their mindset going. Like, we're not done. When it's over, when this is going, it's all in positive words. And I'm like, oh, wow, I never thought that. Because I was like, if you want to go to college, that's something that you want to do. And that's something I was always taught. If you go to college, or if you do this.
It'd be
that.
real nice.
Yeah.
You'd be one of the first ones in our family to go to college. Nah, bro. Hey, you can't stay here.
Yeah.
you gotta go, bro.
Yeah.
And not even you gotta go like I'm gonna kick you out, but you gotta do something great.
You got to do something great. You just got to do it.
You gotta do something great.
But yeah. So that's one of my stories. What I was talking to you about earlier is like if you had to go back 11 years and talk to yourself, what would you have told them? Because something I wish I would have done, and this isn't always the case, like you said, take them out, get them everywhere, Peanut, and get the mindset working. Like this is the field. You don't know what you like. For me, I didn't know what I want to do. Some kids, they like, hey, I'm gonna be a doctor. I'm gonna be this. I'm gonna be that. I'm gonna go in that field. My dad did it. I did it, and I just didn't have all those avenues. So whenever it came to me to go to college, I didn't know what I wanted to do. I knew I needed to have some college. I needed to do some stuff, right? But if I had to go back and talk to myself, I would just be like, just jump in, because if you go out for an associate's, right? General associates is basically everything. That's when you start figuring stuff out. That's whenever you're like, all right, you gotta take these electives, and you're like, you know what, I do like this. And you start talking to your peers or different people. Or you start,
but also my case is a little different though. I started college back in Ghana.
Okay.
In Ghana, there's nothing like a associates.
Yeah.
You start a degree program, you go in.
Great.
There's nothing like an associates where you take all of your core requirements and then at level 300 you get into like your.
How does that process work? Y'all still have like 120 credits and all that?
Yeah.
Okay.
So you still have 120. You go in and you basically have a degree plan, but it's just the school tells you, hey, for this semester you are doing 8 classes, which is normally the typical for every semester. So 8 classes, and then we'll give you a little timetable, whatever they call the roster. So like from 10 to 11 you have cartography. From 11 to 12 you have land survey. Something like that.
Mm-hmm.
But you basically go off of what they tell you. So you don't really have the luxury of picking and say, hey, I want to do accounting 201, this term, and I want to do finance 310 next term. They give you what you got to do for the month. Yeah. So you're not really going by, curriculum.
So what was your experience transferring from over in Ghana to what's your second school? What's your second school?
So what I was doing what we call geomatic engineering in Ghana, right? Which is basically land survey plus computer. Mm-hmm. There's nothing like a geomatic engineering in America. Mm-hmm. The closest to it is civil engineering, which is still different. Mm-hmm. So one, I had to do something else, which means that about 10 to almost 12 of my classes were not gonna transfer. I know.
That's a lot of time wasted.
I know, right? So I went to St. Leo, started with St. Leo, going for my associates, right? So going for my associates in St. Leo, and the associates in St. Leo was a liberal arts. Mm-hmm. Because again, at that point I was like, man, I really can't, continue this engineering program, whatever. Let me find time to figure out what I want to do. But in the meantime, let me go for this liberal arts. But liberal arts is really not a specialization. It's just a general education, basically. Right, so I finished that, and then at that point I had kind of made up my mind to keep on with the computer, stuff. So I started computer information systems with St. Leo as my bachelor's. Well, into it a little bit, I finally figured out that to do some type of computer major, I needed to actually go to class. I needed to actually like do some labs. I couldn't do that. You know, I was still working full-time job and stuff. You know, so I needed to do something else. So that was what my second, well, I guess my third degree. Switched from that to a business administration.
Hold on. Did you get any of it, like your third college? Did you have any like Ghana, any of your credentials?
So
Ghana?
some of my credits transferred.
Okay.
But obviously most of them did not because it's so it shows up on your degree thing, right? But it won't transfer to the degree that you want to do.
We don't care.
Yeah. You know, so finishing, you know, instead of like doing 120 credits, I'm actually sitting at like almost 180, you know. However, all of the rest of them couldn't transfer, you know. But anyway, so business administration. And then from there, I was like, man, from the time I start doing my major, you know, business administration to the time I'm done, it's probably going to take a few years, especially if I'm not trying to pay out of pocket and all of that. But I need something. So I had to kind of go back and get into a different associate's program, which is actually in line with what I do in the military, you know, with a different school. So now we're talking 3 colleges already, 4 degrees already, right? I know. But again, if I knew what I knew from the jump, I probably wouldn't have done all of that, you know. And again, I think I needed to do all of that, at least that's what I thought, you know, to get the credentials that I needed. But if I knew all of this information from the jump, you know, and that's
you're going for your business then, right?
Yeah.
Now. So what kind of education can branch off that that's not a degree that can like help you out?
So if you're in the military, like Navy cool.
Well, not even like military wise, like any certificates. Or
So Navy cool is certifications.
Okay.
You know, it's I think MSSC, I forgot what it stands for, manufacturer something, but they are just a, you know, private organization, agency, whatever you call them in now. They organize these credentials you could do, you know, and I think they have some for other aviation stuff. But if you, as a civilian, you could go through them and get all these certifications. But of course, the military kind of covers all of that, you know, but that goes towards, if you are doing so, if I did a certified logistics associates Navy Crew certification, all right, that would go towards any type of supply chain management degree that I wanted to do, you know. But again, if you got, so this is where the trick is at, though. If you got that certification, certified logistics associates, right? Of course, it has to do with logistics, and you're going for aeronautical science. You're really not transferring. You're getting all this knowledge and all these credentials, but you're not transferring to your degree.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
I mean, you go back to what I said earlier. Obviously, we can't go back. We can talk about what we could have.
Oh, yeah.
Have done. But hindsight is always 2020. You always know what you would have done. The best thing we can do right now is, as far as continuous education goes, is educate our youth.
And which is a really good reason why we're having this podcast, because if I made the same mistake, you know, I made a mistake, want to make sure you don't make that mistake.
Yeah.
You know?
Okay, now that we're just talking about educational mistakes, what educational mistakes did you run into, or hurdles that you run into? Is there any?
I mean, educational hurdle I ran into was thinking that it wasn't important and that I wouldn't need it and it wouldn't do anything for me. That was a hurdle. Because that was my train of thought. I was like, man, I'm here to work. I'm working, bro. Why I need the extra stuff? And then I started going to school simply because it was like, I mean, I got the time, and I'm trying to kill everybody here. I can't kill them if I don't go to school. If they go to school, I gotta do school.
So you were looking for competition. You're my competition.
Yeah,
you got all these firearms with no ammo.
And then, but lo and behold, right? I'm trying to get my bachelor's degree in aviation maintenance management, but because I got my AMP, all of like the aviation.
What's the AMP?
Airframe and power plants license.
So what does that do?
Yeah, I'm civilian FAA certified to fix civilian aircraft, airframe and power plant stuff. But those gave me so many credits towards the aviation maintenance degree that I don't have to focus on the actual aviation maintenance.
Hold on. Let's rewind that a bit. So you're saying that you went out and you got a license, right?
Yeah.
And after getting this license, that license helps you get credits towards
Oh
your
yeah,
degree.
gain credit. Yeah.
Just a curious, a ball figure. I don't know if you know the exact number.
And I think that's the
It's
part.
Like 30 something.
Yeah, 30-something credits.
Yeah, like 30 something credits.
Okay.
Off of that. Yeah.
I think that's the part that a lot of people probably should pay attention to, because there's a lot of different things that you could do. It's not college related, but it gives you credits towards college. You know, if college is your thing.
Yeah. That thing took me 2 weeks, bro.
Yeah.
In 2 weeks, I got 30 credits basically. But so I didn't have to take those aviation specific classes, which was good for me. And what that allowed me to do now is to focus on all the other things that are required for the aviation maintenance. And when you do that, you gotta go into a specialty. And my specialty, I chose management. But like the type of classes that I'm taking, I feel are relevant to me. I've taken a bunch of management classes, values and ethics, organizational behavior, psychology.
You sound so proper.
Yeah. I just finished financial accounting, and it's just like I wasn't just taking those. Obviously, I'm taking those classes to get my degree, but I wasn't just taking those classes like, yo, I just need to finish this to get my degree. One, I want to make sure I get an A in every class that I get, because if I'm not doing the best, well, I'm even doing it.
True.
Two, I want to take legitimately everything I learned and apply it to my life.
Mm-hmm.
And I feel like it's coming at the best time, because I finally hit the point in my life where I'm like, maybe I should start slowing down on all the dumb stuff and like start really putting in full throttle on
Bro,
the things that I need.
you don't even do any dumb stuff. What you
Yeah.
talking about?
Yeah, I mean, just, we'll say young people stuff. Getting out of that young mindset of like, oh, I'm gonna live forever, and none of this important, and kind of growing to the point like, hey, man, the end of the road is closer than we think, and you don't want to be working to the end of the road, so you might want to get your stuff in order right now. And it couldn't come at a better time, because I'm at a point of real high personal growth, and all these classes are helping me grow as well. They're helping me become a better person. They help me become a better leader for my organization. So, I mean, just getting out of that mindset. The hurdle is getting out of that mindset. Like, oh, you don't need it. It ain't even really that important. Like, it is important.
Yeah.
It's important for your career, and more importantly, it's important for you as an individual.
You know what's crazy? So, like, one of the things that I did, you know, talking about taking classes or doing some credentials, you know, not just to do it. So, I finished my financial accounting and my managerial accounting. I think that's what it is, right? Mm-hmm. And then from that time, and I almost didn't get the whole concept, right? Yeah. But from that time, I was like, man, I should probably file my own taxes with all this accounting that I'm doing. Yeah, and from that day, I started filing my own taxes, you know?
Well, if I'm still in a house, I'm not filing my own taxes. I run into that hurdle and all that good stuff. But no, I agree, yeah.
Yeah, I look at a breakdown, because I'm part of this organization I work, a breakdown of how we like spend our money. And it was like, after I took that financial accounting class, I was like, they could have done that better. This better like this.
I don't know if it's like this, but Joe.
It's just like taking in, like actually taking in what I was supposed to learn and looking at it and trying to apply it to whatever I do and make whatever I do better, or whatever I'm part of just a little bit better.
I feel like after I take the classes, though, they make more sense. You know, like
after.
Yeah,
after you already got your degree, you already got your grade.
Not even gonna pass.
For like 1 to 2 pages, you know what I'm saying? Yeah. And I'd be like, I don't know what I'm doing, and then I just get through the class and struggle, maybe get like a B or something in the class, and then I'm like, oh, okay, I know what I'm doing. On top of that, there was like a bunch of resources, and this is the thing too. If you're ever struggling in class, there's resources out there. There's Course Hero, there's Chegg, Mathway.
Man.
And now it's just those are just the top 3, the top tiers. So many things that
I tell you what,
for
I need to go find who owns Course Hero and thank him.
Shake his hand. Yeah, so I mean, a lot of those resources definitely helped me better understand some of the classes I was in. But again, like I didn't know too much what I was doing until the class was done. It's like, hey, all right, cool. Now I can apply it because I got the certificate.
Bro,
or whatever, you know?
I had to take with like my financial accounting class to pass that. I had to take pictures of like everything I did. I would take pictures of it And as I was doing the homework, I would look at my phone and like, all right, yeah, I get what it means now. Like, if I wouldn't have done that, I wouldn't.
You know what? If
I
something,
would've been-
another thing I would have done too is I would have applied more of my high school general studies towards the general studies of
Yeah.
college, because a lot of those high school credits transfer over, and I was taking stuff like anatomy. Like who takes anatomy that goes for aviation? Yeah, you know what I'm saying? Like,
Maybe you want to be a doctor.
Yeah. Well, there was a lot of people that were nurses in the class. So that would be like cool to take a class. No, there was just I didn't know what I wanted to do back then, but I wish I would have applied it more towards the general. Like, okay, cool, you know, you're gonna have to take this extra math class, or physics or whatever, and then that might tie into the general.
I think that's what high school is for. I was talking to my wife about that. We had this conversation. How people are like, "Why I gotta take all these extra classes in high school, and I'm not even interested in this stuff?" And it's just like,
See
well,
if you're interested.
that's exactly it. Well, that's because you're young and you're dumb. You don't know what you like yet. So if we throw everything at you, you'll pick up. If we threw 11 things at you, hopefully you pick one of these things up. You're like, you know what? I actually like nutrition. So this is what I'm going to get into. And then you get into the nutrition game from there. But, I mean, if you already knew what you was doing in high school, then yeah, I would kind of tailor my, like you said, some people get an associate. My little sister. She was
No,
in
that's-
classes. I'm like, yo.
That's really a thing though, you know. Like, and of course, moving from Ghana, it's not a thing in Ghana, you know. So like moving from Ghana to here and knowing that people can actually take, you know, like college classes while they're in high school, I'm like, yo, I don't know whoever brought this up, but they smart, you know.
The issue with me is, I love America to the core because, I mean, I'm like, it's the best place you can be, bro. You can do whatever you want. You can be whatever you want. All you gotta do is put in a little effort.
Mm-hmm.
And it's just like we have so much at our disposal that we take it for granted.
I think so.
And it's just like, just
it
chill.
bypasses.
Yeah, just chill out a little bit and realize that like you can do and be whatever you want to be if you just educate yourself, especially with Google. You can just Google some stuff.
Or YouTube it.
Yeah,
Learn how to change some rotors.
like,
you know what I'm saying?
Yeah. And if you just looked into something just a little bit more and you put a little bit more effort into stuff, you can leave high school with an associate's degree.
Mm-hmm.
You could be 19, 20 years old with a bachelor's degree. If you want to be a nurse, you could be an RN by the time you was 20 with your BSN, and then making $30 an hour, depending on what city you in.
Yep.
At 20 years old, just because you put in the effort. And like you said, they didn't offer that in Ghana.
No.
They just told you, hey man, you getting your bachelor's degree, you were taking these classes, have a great day. Which I'm not knocking Ghana for that at all. But it's just like the amount of opportunity and the amount of choice that we have in this country, like the reason that more people aren't as successful as they could be. A lot of it has to be put on the individual and has to be put on the parenting because it's like, yo, you need to tell your kids, like, it is so many, it's not crumbs out here, it ain't scraps out here, it's whole plates. Like, you walk into a Thanksgiving feast and you can take all the food if that's what you want to do, as far as opportunities go.
Take the plate or take the table.
Yeah.
At least leave the table for next time, yo.
But the thing is, right? If you and your whole squad, you like, hey, bro.
We all eat.
It's 4 of us. If we all take this whole table out, we can all eat for a little bit.
That's what I like personally, that's what I like. Like my circle, my friends, everybody I talk to, if I'm eating or they're eating, they're share the knowledge. And I'll do the same thing. It's because it's all about my personal growth and their personal growth. It's that continuous education. Like, yo, how come, you're not progressing? I'm not gonna call them out for it, but I'll probably nudge them a little bit, like, yo, I'm doing this, I'm doing that, and I'm doing this,
Yeah.
And they're like, whoa.
Or just like have you heard of? I mean, I like that. It's like, yo, you heard about this? You heard about this? Text message like, yo, look at this. Even if it's just that, look at this. And I click this link. Oh, maybe I should probably look at this.
Yeah.
Just educating yourself on anything and everything possible.
Any and everything possible. It's not just one thing. It's the conversational piece. It's the acquaintances. It's the when you go somewhere, it's the new person you see, it's the collaborations, it's how you interact, and that all comes from the knowledge you know, because you can't just go talk to somebody, because you sit there and be like, I don't know what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
And you don't ever want to be
Oh
that guy.
man, that
You're that guy,
yeah,
you're
that
already
sucks.
dismissed in the conversation.
Yeah, it really sucks
You're
to
not
have.
looked at again.
It sucks to have like people who have knowledge, you know, and you finally get to have a conversation with them. You sitting there just nodding your head like,
Yes, sir.
Networking is the biggest thing, especially when it comes to credentials, it comes to yourself or anything else in knowledge aspects. You know, you can't grow without networking. You know, tell your plan to somebody, tell your goals to somebody, and they're gonna shoot you down, or you might just gain a mentor. You know, and learn more. You know.
Right now, I'm an instructor, and what I tell the students is that when we go to take a test, I say, "Are you nervous?" They say, "Oh yeah, I'm nervous." What you nervous about? Well, did you study? Yeah. Then your confidence should come from the fact that you put in the work, and you studied, you did everything that you're supposed to do up until this point. If you did that, then you should be confident about what you did, and that should lead you to success on this test. And how this ties into real world is like people are like blindly confident nowadays. Like, I'm gonna get whatever I want. Like, bro, who told you that? Like, sit down.
Yeah.
Like, your confidence has to come from the fact that you put in work and you know what you talk about. So when you go talk to these new people and you trying to network, and you go talk to them and you walk with your chest out and like, hey, I know what I'm talking about because I put in the work, and that's how you network. Like you said, you can't be trying to network doing this. Like, you can't network doing that.
Oh, I agree. I concur.
Like a college discussion.
That's perfect, because one time I got in a conversation with a doctor just graduated, and I didn't know nothing about the body, but I thought I did, and she just like shut me down, and it was just like, whoa, what is that? Like, all right, cool, all right, I'm at this hospital, I don't know what I'm talking about. But that's true. I looked like a fool because I thought I knew what I was talking about, but in reality I didn't. She had the knowledge, and our conversation just wasn't on the same level, you know. You want to talk aeronautics, lady? Let's do
this. So we're basically saying that, you know, whatever level you are right now, it really doesn't matter. There's more that you can really study. There's more that you can really acquire as far as knowledge goes. It really doesn't even matter what level you are right now. We also covered ways to get to the knowledge as far as, you know, funds go, money, you know, scholarships, FAFSA, you know, all of that. You know, it's very important that you get all these documentation, which is really important because you can't just walk up to whatever job it is and tell them, you know, just right off the back, hey, I have this knowledge and not have any paper to prove it. It's very important that you have the paper, but also make sure you know the knowledge part of it, you know. Like Peanut said, you know, if you're gonna get that documentation, make sure you know the knowledge as well. We're probably gonna wrap it up, but I don't know if y'all have anything to close it up.
I mean, I got some knowledge is good. Knowledge is important. Knowledge is power. But knowledge without purpose is nothing. You want to be as knowledgeable as you can. You really want to seek wisdom and understanding more than anything. Because if you're seeking wisdom and you're seeking understanding, the knowledge will automatically fall in place because that's below wisdom and understanding. So understand life. Look at it from a more virtuous perspective. Be more wise than you were yesterday, and the knowledge will come because that's what wise people do. Wise people seek knowledge to use it in the right sense and in the right purpose, and build other leaders. Tell other people that they need to seek this knowledge.
Spread their word, huh?
They need to be wise. Tell other people that they need to understand more so they can do more. And that's all I got.
Yeah, the only thing, I mean, I don't even know if I can top that, but two things that's always been important to me was self-growth and self-care. Like, you got to take care of yourself before you take care of anybody else.
Because nobody would do it for you.
Nobody's going to take care of you like you. And that's just how it's going to be. you need to push yourself. So you just gotta keep going, you know. And then one day you'll be there, and you'll know you're there. You look back and you smile. Yeah, it's gonna be tough. It's gonna be hard. None of it's gonna make sense. Some of this meeting we had didn't make any sense.
Mm-hmm.
But it's all gonna be worth it at the end, and that's what it's about. You know? It's about you and your upbringings and the people that you meet on the way.
Nice. Well, thank you very much for spending time with us today. And today we were talking about continuous education and why important it is to have to seek more knowledge wherever level you are. Today we're trying out our microphones and our new podcast setup. I don't know what y'all got anything to say about that, or
I like them a lot.
but.
There ain't no but.
Oh, okay. But thank you for spending time with us. Make sure you like, comment, share, and subscribe to our YouTube page so we can bring you more. We will see you around. Take care.